My goodness. The backlash on DiJonai Carrington. DiJonai Carrington is gone nuclear at this.
Has DiJonai Carrington's behavior crossed the line for what the WNBA can tolerate? What started as tough defense has now escalated into dangerous conduct, including hair pulling and questionable contact during games. It's clear the league can no longer afford to ignore it.
Things this season that will get her disqualified from MMA fights. She has done things this season that will get her disqualified from MMA fights. This is a bad look for the league. It is a bad look for the league that every game, the referees are turning a blind eye to something that would potentially get them disqualified from an MMA fight. This would have got her disqualified if she was in the octagon.
The latest incident has fans calling for more than a basic fine. Many are demanding a suspension, with some even suggesting a permanent ban. The surprising part? League rules actually allow for such penalties. The only question now is whether the commissioner will step in and enforce them. We'll break that down shortly. If you believe Carrington has gone too far, drop a comment below. Hold players accountable.
Check this out right here. As she grabs the player by the ponytail, yanks her to the ground.
Let's rewind for a moment. There was the reckless play that nearly injured her own teammate, Paige Buchers. Then the questionable hit on Jessica Shepard that many saw as over the line. And most notably, the eye contact incident involving Caitlin Clark, the Indiana Fever's rising star, thus caught clearly on camera. The pattern is hard to dismiss. This is starting to look less like intense basketball and more like a growing discipline issue the league can no longer ignore.
Claw to the eye, hit to the head, yank ball. And by the way, that's her 3 of her last 5 games. Those 3 have happened in her last 5 games. She also undercut Skylar Diggins in those last 5 games. Getting Caitlin Clark in the eye, getting Sabrina.
Let's stick to the facts. 3 major incidents in just 5 games. In that brief span, Carrington made contact with Caitlin Clark's eye, collided with Sabrina Ionescu, and undercut Skylar Diggins-Smith. The concern deepens with this. She's already racked up 3 official flagrant fouls in under a month. That doesn't even count 2 other uncalled plays that fans and analysts agree were just as dangerous. This isn't coincidence anymore. It's a pattern. So the real question is, will the WNBA take action or continue to stay silent?
I mean, not only is the WNBA covering for players like this, they're doing these egregious things on the court that is not physical play. It's dirty play with a big fat D. Some of these players wouldn't know nothing about that. Anyway, with a big fat D, it's dirty. All right? And my God, and then when you call them out, the said player starts attacking fans.
Fans are speaking out, and for good reason. The league's rules are clear. Too many flagrant fouls lead to an automatic suspension, but that threshold has already been crossed. So now the question is, what more has to happen? Player safety isn't optional. If the WNBA truly wants to grow its audience and protect rising stars like Caitlin Clark, it must show that dangerous behavior has consequences. So far, though, Carrington has faced little more than silence from the league.
There's not a world
if she would have had extension
where that is not premeditated, pre-planned. She looked up. She said, "Oh, look at that!
Whoa!
Look at that ponytail. Yeah, let me yank. How about I keep it real? Let me yank the white girl to the ground. There we go. There it's at."
Let's begin with the foul that pushed this controversy over the edge, the now infamous hair pull. In the third quarter of a heated game between the Dallas Wings and Los Angeles Sparks, Carrington grabbed Sarah Ashley Barker by the hair and yanked her to the floor. The entire arena was stunned. Replays left no room for doubt, even in slow motion. The move looked blatantly aggressive.
DiJonai, you're always in a dirty play. DiJonai, once again, here we are today. Oh, DiJonai.
So what did the referees call? Just a loose ball foul. Not a flagrant, not even a technical. It was treated like a routine play, as if nothing serious had occurred. Commentators were shocked. One analyst even joked, if those were extensions, they'd be all over the court. Social media erupted. The Brick Center posted the clip with a caption that summed up the public's reaction. How is this not an ejection?
But I think a referee knowingly allowing and turning a blind eye to players putting other players in danger should never be allowed to ref again. And I think this is just like the Kennedy Carter chip check last year. The referees, and this is the worst about this, they saw it and did nothing about it.
Fans were outraged. Social media lit up with a unified message. This is dangerous, and it needs to stop. One radio caller captured the mood perfectly. This isn't hustle. It's street-level behavior on a professional court.
Look, I don't condone fighting on the court, but this team has a real issue. This league has a real issue getting their own teammates' backs. It feels like so many of these players are all out for themselves. And it is why.
It wasn't just the hair pull. Fans began digging into Carrington's history. Undercuts, elbows, late hits. She's become a highlight reel of reckless plays. And not the thrilling kind, but the kind that leaves fans asking, why? Hasn't the league stepped in yet? Clip 9, and that leads us to the core issue, the WNBA's silence. In just 1 month, Carrington leads the league in flagrant fouls, and that's more than a stat, it's a statement. Yet the league has said nothing. No fines, no suspensions, no public response. It feels less like oversight and more like they're hoping the controversy will just fade away.
Criticism justified. Get her off the court. Hey, this person, Kathy Engelbert, you're the problem. Since you seem to think this kind of play is acceptable, not to this play, but many others, you should be held accountable when someone is seriously injured. And it's going to happen. Carrington is reckless, and there's plenty of video that shows. There's plenty of evidence.
But silence won't cut it. Not when Caitlin Clark is on the receiving end. As the face of the league's next generation, she's being swiped at, elbowed, and shoved like she doesn't belong. If the league's failure to act results in injury, it won't just be a controversy, it'll be a crisis. At this point, fans aren't just frustrated with Carrington, they're questioning the WNBA's integrity. How can a league promote a no room for hate campaign while turning a blind eye to this behavior? Is this really the message you want to send to the next generation of young athletes?
DiJonai Carrington, you are the dirtiest dirtbag of them all. Dirty play, DiJonai Carrington. DiJonai dirty play, Carrington. We can even turn it into a...
DiJonai Carrington is now one of the WNBA's most polarizing figures. Some fans see intensity, others see intent to harm. But regardless of opinion, one thing is certain. This isn't about playing style anymore. It's about safety. And if the league continues to stay quiet, the ones walking away won't be the players. It'll be the fans.
Has been on a crime spree. That's right, folks. She has been on a crime spree, robbing the WNBA blind, masquerading as a professional basketball player, when in reality, she is just a reckless athlete that understands the concept of basketball.
Let's rewind to one of last season's most troubling moments, one that still has fans frustrated and analysts stunned. As Caitlin Clark, the WNBA's brightest rising star, brought the ball up the court, DiJonai Carrington suddenly reached in and swiped across her face. The cameras caught it all. Her fingers clearly made contact with Clark's eye, prompting an immediate reaction as Clark winced and grabbed her face. It didn't just stop the game, it stopped everyone in their tracks.
Found something, realized it was the hair, and yanked. She went back down faster as soon as she grabbed the hair. Like, come on. Like, at what stage does the WNBA have to step in? Because the WNBA are rescinding technical fouls on a player who should already be suspended. DiJonai Carrington has committed 4 blatant flagrant fouls this year, and 1 that was 50-50 that got
This wasn't a typical hard foul or a play gone wrong. It was a direct shot to the eye of the league's most talked about player. Sports networks and online clips broke it down frame by frame. Carrington's hand reaching out, the undeniable contact, and Clark's shocked reaction. The backlash was instant. The question wasn't whether it happened, it was whether it was intentional and what consequences, if any, should come next.
As everyone else is seeing this angle, calling her in, and I'm saying to her, I need answers.
Caitlin Clark was so lucky with how hard she got hit in the eye. She was so lucky. And by the way, I still believe DiJonai Carrington tried to hit Caitlin Clark in the head.
When you went and kind of swatted at Caitlin, did you intend to hit her in the eye? And if so, could you just, or if not, either way, could you talk about what happened on that play?
I don't even know why I would intend to hit anybody in the eye. That doesn't even make sense to me. But no, I didn't. I didn't know I hit her, actually. I was trying to make a play on the ball, and I guess I followed through and I hit her. So obviously it's never intentional. That's not even like the type of player that I am.
Now got normal NBA fans. You have got normal NBA fans like talking about DiJonai Carrington.
Yeah, I mean, this will be a better angle of it. I think we'll be able to see how hard the foul is right here. That's a hard foul, and she does get her in the face when she's coming down with her hand.
It is a very relevant topic because now you have got posts going viral in the general basketball world, and this type of stuff is just a bad look for the league. It is a bad look for the league. It is. This type of stuff is a bad look for the league.
Engelbert, you're the problem. Since you seem to think this kind of play is acceptable, not to this play, but many others, you should be held accountable when someone is seriously injured. And it's going to...
Literally, the referee saw her take someone out in the air, went to the monitors, was like, this is a dangerous play, it's a flagrant, and they overruled the refs on the monitors. The league has the league are putting players in danger. The league does not care about player safety. They don't care about player safety. And by the way, why would DiJonai care about player safety? Why would she care if the league doesn't care? The legal defender, anything negative said about DiJonai Carrington in the media, anything negative, you're going to see a post from the WNBA saying we call BS about this thing. Anything negative in the media about DiJonai Carrington, the WNBA are going to make a post. The WNBA are going to make a post. We do not you can see with DiJonai Carrington, she does not have the greatest body control. She does not have good enough body control to hit someone in the eye. But I do think that she tried to smack Caitlin Clark in the head. The referee, no call. No call. Common foul. No call on the undercut of Gabby Williams. Like, no call on the hit to Sabrina. If the referees just did their jobs, DiJonai Carrington would have a one-game suspension, right? If the referee in the league did their jobs, DiJonai Carrington, and not for just this. And by the way, if this was it, there are sports leagues in the world that, with this replay going out, will give her a one-game suspension. The NBA is one. If the referees missed it in real time, and something like this started going, not even semi-viral, but like it went around the league, and they're like, you know what, it's actually putting a player in danger, it's a one-game suspension.